Okay, so now I'm going to tell you about a technology that I use for classroom management and open, broad communication with students and parents, and that's Remind, the Remind app, or you can use it from the web. So let's go to where I have Remind. I do have the app on my phone. This is free, but I'm going to show you from my computer, obviously, today. So the reason I started using Remind was that I didn't want students to have my cell phone number and be blowing my phone up all the time. I have friends and colleagues who have done that in the past, and it seems like that's all they get done is responding to texts and things of that nature. So I wanted a quick way to push information out to my students and their families, but I didn't want them to know all of my contact info. So I was told about Remind, and I've been using it for a couple of years, and I really love it. And I don't just use it in an educational setting. I am a softball coach during the summer, so this is a great way to push out a notification about practice being moved, or a delay of game because another game went into extra innings, or that kind of thing. It's also great to remind people when they've signed up to bring snacks or whatever the case might be. So the one thing that I make clear to my families with school is that I'm not going to use Remind as a housekeeper for reminding students that a certain homework activity is due, because that I don't think teaches them much self-efficacy. I do tend to remind students, hey, don't forget next week we have exam number 1, so you should be reviewing the chapter or something like that, but not for daily homework and the like. Anyhow, so you can see that I have my dashboard with my various classes here. You can join a class. I've joined some groups, and that's the groups that where I work and that kind of thing. So right now it's on Espanol for second hour. So you can see here over to that area where I have some students. Here's an announcement that I pushed out last week on the 17th. Interested students, $15 for foreign language club, blah, 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 blah. And then I pushed out another one on September 20th, just as a shortened version, and to remind them that dues were coming due. So when you click on a new message here, to create a new message, discard that. You just go down here, click on that, and then it will tell you here when you're typing you only have 140 characters, and they do that because they want you to keep those messages pithy. So hi, don't forget to bring the Patagonia video quiz, or something like that, okay? You can hit send and send that out to whatever courses you have here, and you can edit that there. You can copy the message to various classes and whatnot, or you can push that out to more than one class at a time. What I also like about this is that just like with Google Classroom, you can schedule that. So like if I wanted that message to go out to students, tomorrow morning at 7:45, I would schedule that, and you pick the date and you pick that, and so on and so forth. You can attach photos and videos to it. You can attach files. You can go to Google Drive. You can sync it with Google Classroom, and so on and so forth. Sign Up Genius for doing sign-ups, like I said, for snacks and whatnot. what I love about Remind, and what would be the difference between Remind and doing some kind of message or announcement like this on Google Classroom. With Google Classroom, all I have entered in as students are the students who are currently enrolled in my Spanish classes. But with Remind, I have the capabilities of reaching their parents, because sometimes their parents want to know what's going on and when money is due. So I give the kids a link and then their parents can sign up. And then I also have some students who are in foreign language club who have fulfilled all their requirements for Spanish. So they're not necessarily taking a Spanish class right now. So I don't have them as students in any course within Google Classroom. So this just gives them one more capability of getting information, and gives me more flexibility in talking with their parents for big announcements and whatnot. I'm going to exit out of this because I don't want to send that out to my students, but it's as easy as that. Once you push that announcement out, it goes out immediately, or it goes out when it's scheduled. And it's Remind. I use it as part of my classroom management and communication content area, or not really content area, but resource area, if you will. My intended audience are parents, students, former students, or students who have things in common with me, and that might be clubs and whatnot, but might not be enrolled in my courses. And I do it through this venue so that students don't have access to my personal information.